In today's video, I'm gonna talk about some subject that comes to my attention every week. I mean, have you ever gotten strange emails by some random person or a website talking about a certain subject or a certain someone? Well, I get those every week, and I still get those every week, even if I unsubscribe to that person's email subscription, because for an hour all they do is bag on Hillary Clinton. I mean, the election is over. I mean, clearly, the election is over. Why do you guys still bag on Hillary Clinton? And because of whatever reason, I think people who bag on Hillary Clinton as of right now are getting paid by the Trump administration to bag on her still to this day. I get emails from random companies about Hillary Clinton doing something wrong for an hour. I looked at the time running of Hillary Clinton's tirade. I wasn't gonna sit there for an hour listening to this guy talk about Hillary Clinton. I'm like, I don't have time for that. I'd rather do videos on YouTube of my own. I mean, come on. Whoever keeps sending me these emails on a weekly basis, if I unsubscribe to his thing, somebody else is going to send it. I think they have something against women running for president. Honestly, if I was president and if I was 35 and I was running for president, I would be having a female running mate be my corner man in the election. But I think personally, what I think it's so bad having a woman president be a president. How is it that women get blamed for everything and we get, as a male myself, we don't get caught? I don't understand. When it comes to politics, women don't get the fair share of criticism that males do. I mean, if we're talking about Donald Trump here, everything he says that comes out of his mouth is magnified, but nobody does anything. And with this whole Russia thing, I mean, he's not gonna get in trouble for it. I don't know why. I mean, we all know this, even though they investigate something going on with him and Russia, which I don't care. That's his personal deal, but he's not going to get busted because he's a guy. I'm a guy, and I will state the facts here. Because he's a male, he's not gonna get blamed for anything. I mean, for me, I was raised by women, so for me as a man myself, I'm gonna state the fact that when this whole investigation business is over with Donald Trump and whatever's going on with him and this deal with Russia thing, which that's his business, but he's not going to get busted for it. But if he was a woman, I would say that would be a different story. I mean, it's one-sided here. Every time I get an email about Hillary Clinton, if it was equal footing, I can understand. One email talking bad about Donald Trump, one email talking about Hillary Clinton. I can understand that. That is equal blame for something that they do personally. That's how it's supposed to be. But every week, I get emails bagging on Hillary Clinton. How come I don't get emails about Donald Trump doing something stupid? I mean, that's how I see it. But if I look through my phone as of right now, I could show you. I could actually open up the email, and it literally says, where is it? Come on. Where is it? I found it yesterday. Where? Hold on. Hold on. Where is it? I know it's here somewhere. It says, and it's sent by a different person this time, but it says, breaking news, Hillary violent meltdown caught on camera. I mean, and I don't get that stuff the same way I get stuff about Donald Trump. I don't understand. The election is over. Shouldn't you guys stop talking about Hillary Clinton in a negative manner? I mean, come on. The election is over. Donald Trump has won. Even if I don't like him personally, I don't think it's necessary to talk bad about Hillary Clinton anymore, because the election is over. I don't care if you guys don't agree with me. Whoever will watch this later on, I really honestly think that people get paid by the Trump administration to actually bag on Hillary Clinton every damn day. I mean, excuse my language, but that's what it says in my email. I'm not gonna I'm telling you like it is. Like, literally, I get these like every week with the same message for an hour. I mean, the election's over for the past 6 months, and people are still bagging on Hillary for something. I mean, come on. I mean, I don't believe it to be truth to begin with, because they probably get paid by the Trump administration to begin with. So I'm like thinking to myself, like, damn. And honestly, to tell you the truth, if I ever became president, on that note, I would probably get shot because I'm Asian. Honestly, but I was born here in the United States of America. But I guarantee you, because I'm Asian, they would have a whole reason to get rid of me. And honestly, if that was possible, then I'm sorry for what I did. If I didn't do anything wrong, why would you even bother trying to attempt that? I'm saying it from my point of view. I'm strictly stating the fact that I might get assassinated in my first term. That's what happened to Obama when he first started. Everybody said they were gonna do that. I don't know why, just because of his color of his skin. I mean, come on, that's not ethically inclined. And secondly, And the only reason why, also, on top of that, I also wanted to include something that I forgot to include from yesterday's video, which I meant to include it. How is it that we don't allow illegal immigrants to be here when we're all illegal immigrants to begin with? I mean, we could have been, all of us who were on US soil originally were all, if we were traveling not to the US, but if Great Britain was still part of, before our separation from them, we would all been Englanders. I mean, has everybody forgotten that? I mean, that would have been cool, but I don't think people would have liked that for the most part. But I wouldn't mind it at this point, based on the fact that we hate certain minorities. I don't understand that. I don't personally. And what bothers me about people when it comes to doing certain stuff randomly, and what else bothers me besides these emails also, is that, besides another subject that has been on my brain lately, is why do people, just because I'm disabled also, they always tell me that I'm mentally unstable, and I don't know why. And sometimes they do this, and I'm wondering to myself, why are they going like this? And they're calling me, God tells me that you're mentally unstable. I'm like looking at those guys like, or those people in general, and going, what the heck are you talking about? I didn't even bother you and you're telling me that I'm mentally unstable? I'm just sitting here going, I was minding my, this has happened to me about 6 times in my whole entire life. 6. Just because I'm disabled. I could count it on my finger. Maybe I forgot a couple, but I remember about 6 times, 6 scenarios where I could count them on my finger, where people have bugged me based on, because they have nothing better to do. Honestly, that bugs the heck out of me. And if you're a normal person, you would react the same way I'm about to. If somebody called you mentally unstable, if you're a normal person, what would your natural reaction be to that certain individual if you don't know them? I would be going, your normal reaction is, you're thinking to myself, and you're thinking to yourself, well, I would probably beat him up because he told me that. So that would be my, I would say, why? I'm just minding my own business, and random people, this started in college for me, would walk up to me and say certain things like, do you believe in God? I'm like, personally, for me, all those religious people out there, I don't mean to offend anybody that believes in any kind of religion. I'm all for it, for yourselves, but it isn't for me, so leave me alone when it comes to that. I personally don't care for that, and that's where I stand on it. And there was this girl in college that just randomly came up to me and goes, do you believe in God? I'm like, no. Why? Like, she did that for 30 minutes, harassing me about, do you believe in God? I'm like, no. I'm like, no. For 30 minutes. I'm like doing this. This happened in college, my first year of college. Like within 3 days. I go, do you believe in God? Or she goes, do you believe in God? I go, no. Well, why? Well, you should. I'm like, why? Because I'm disabled? Like, it's a personal choice whether you're religious or not. So I take the lighter of the two. And she would go on like that for 30 minutes. I'm like, personally, I'm getting annoyed at that point. And then there was this one other girl that would randomly come up to me within 3 days of meeting me. Within 3 weeks of meeting me, she goes, in a dream, God tells me to fix you. I'm like thinking to myself, what the heck is going on? Why are you telling me that? I'm thinking in the back of my mind, is she like literally like telling me that? If I'd known you for 12 years, then I could answer those questions for you. But I don't feel comfortable to this day. If I ever met her again, I would not answer that. I would not respond to that question for her. Like, and this is one of my other experiences. Why do people say, I'll pray for you? I'm like, why don't you pray for people that actually need it? I'm like, this was at South Coast too. My last two experiences, at least, are at South Coast Plaza. There was that one girl that did that to me in South Coast too. I'm like, why? You should pray for some. I'm like thinking in the back of my mind, like, you should pray for those people that actually need it, like those poverty countries. Why would you be praying for me? I'm fine the way I am. Like thinking that in the back of my mind. And what annoys me the most is when people say, like I said earlier, when people say, come here. Like, why would you do this? I'm like, I'm like just minding my own business, and all of a sudden there was this guy at South Coast too, sitting at in front of Starbucks in the outer chairs of that place, and he goes, God tells me you're mentally unstable. I'm like thinking to myself, at this point, I'm like trying to hold myself back. I'm like, I literally had to help hold myself back. I really wanted to. I was going, why? Like myself. I was listening to him talk for like 10 minutes and going, if we were outside, I would, because I know people at South Coast, so I don't want to get in trouble in there. But if we were outside, anything's fair game. You would not tell somebody, a normal person, you're mentally unstable. And for a fact that there are some mentally unstable people out there, and yet people that shoot up people that are like that, who kill 9 people, those are the mentally unstable ones, not me. I'm perfectly fine the way I am. I don't go out there and go, just because I get mad or just because somebody pisses me off, I'm not gonna go out there and do something bad to them. Why don't people just leave me alone when it comes to subject matters like that? Like, you don't know me, why would you even bring that up? Not even my friends bring that up at South Coast, because they're smarter than that person anyway. So I'm like thinking to myself, I'm like thinking to myself, should I go? If I know James Gandolfini back in those days, because I watched The Sopranos, I would have, because I love mobster movies, I love Godfather, I love it all. So I would have been like, you don't say certain things to certain people because you don't know how they're gonna react to it. But I was like thinking to myself, by now I should just walk away. I was just sitting there listening to him talk. I'm like, okay, whatever, dude, go away. And on that note, again, I don't understand, like I said, and to add to what I said earlier, on top of my earlier things about what I get in my emails about Hillary Clinton, how come it was when Meg Whitman wanted to run for governor, every time it seems to only happen to women, not to men. Also, how come she was the only one to come out and legally say, I'm an illegal immigrant working in my house? Nobody else stepped forward. Nobody else had to get blamed for it. I bet all the politicians that say they don't want illegal immigrants working here in the U.S. are lying, because they could be your gardener, they could be whatever, they could be your handyman, they could be whatever it may be. I'm like thinking to myself, how come they changed the rules on that when after the fact that she got caught? How come she was the only one that got caught when every rich person has one? Even Donald Trump probably has an illegal immigrant working in his stead. Whether it's his chef, whether it's somebody, his gardener, I don't know whoever it may be, or whoever she is, or the housemaid, I don't know, but it's what it is. I think fairly women get they get blamed for everything when it comes to politics, and then all of a sudden they fix it immediately. Everybody who had an illegal immigrant at that time working at that stead for the government got pardoned. I don't like that. I think that's not ethically inclined to anyone. First off, because everybody wants to be free over here, but nothing is free over here. I mean, come on. If I was running, honestly, again, if I was running, I would probably be shot by my first term in office because I'm Asian. But you shouldn't judge me because I'm Asian. You should judge me on what I'm gonna do for this country if I ever did run. And I don't mind having a woman running mate to begin with. I think everybody deserves their fair share in running for office. I don't understand why people are so afraid of a woman president. I know exactly why they're afraid from the male perspective, but I can't literally say it on camera because I'm not. I don't want to be inappropriate and that's the bottom line. But I'm gonna leave it at that. And who knows? Maybe someday, maybe when 20 years from now, we're okay with women running for office. And technically, We all, within the first 4 months of conception, we all started out women. And never forget that. Scientifically, we all started out as females. I mean, that's the bottom line. That's what I know from my science class. I mean, that's what it is. But I would never try to say to the constituents, I'm gonna close off the Mexican border. Because they were probably here before us. I mean, my generation probably was, number 6 coming here in the U.S. But I was born here, so, but my family members were probably number 6 coming here. And honestly, when I look at the math, it was Indians, Spaniards, which then turned their descendants into Mexican, which I don't understand that. If that was the scenario that I want to discuss, but everybody says everybody else came here first, not them. I don't understand that. Everybody deserves to be free. I mean, we call ourselves the United States again for some apparent reason, and we call ourselves a free country when we don't allow illegal immigrants to come here. And at one point, we were all illegals. Never forget that. If anybody tells you otherwise, then, with the exception of people that were born here like me and my friends, then that's, if they don't want to believe that, then that's a big problem. I mean, that just goes to show you people aren't open-minded as well as they might claim they are. And that's the honest truth for me. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing a naturalized who was born here, who is Mexican, running for office for president. I wouldn't mind seeing that either, but that's probably gonna be way before when I'm gone. I mean, I don't know when that's gonna happen. I would like to see that too. I mean, but nope, probably not. But here's to hoping someday. And if I had a personal cabinet of my own, if I was running for president, I would have everybody of all cultures that were born here being part of my cabinet. I wouldn't just put one minority over the other. I would go one of each person, like 12 Chinese zodiac of all cultures. That's what I would do. Even Russians. I mean everybody. I don't care what culture, what nationality you are. I would put everybody in. I mean, and plus, languages are universal. Even though we call it a foreign language, languages are universal, even if it's a different form of English. I mean, we call speaking Spanish not English, but to them it is English. I mean, I've learned how to say "where's the bathroom" in Spanish, so that's a good start if I want to know where the bathroom is in Mexico. I mean, but I've from Rosetta Stone, but the only language I couldn't speak with the Rosetta Stone on top of that was Russian, because it's too many R's. if I had a lot of Russian friends speaking to me in Russian and talking to me in Russian, I would be like, I would try to understand it because we all could learn. I wish I knew 6 or 7 different languages, but I only know 2. I mean, or 3, or a little bit. 3 and 2, yeah, 2, mainly 2. But I wish I knew about 10 languages if I could, personally. Because if once you learn that language, it's English to you. So that's how I see it. But that's not always the case. But someday, I hope people are more open-minded to the possibility of all cultures becoming president one day, regardless of the color of your skin. I mean, or gender-wise. I mean, that's how I see it. Well, I think I'm done talking about what I wanted to talk about today, but who knows, maybe I'll be back later talking about something else, and I just might. Well, whoever's watching this, see you guys later. Whoops. Oh.
Text to speech unavailable here. Text to speech unavailable here.